Hello, my name is Sasha, and in this video I would like to show you the rough alignment of a mesh to a world coordinate system in Rhino3D. Let's go! Use a specific STL or mesh that is used for educational purposes here at the Hochschule West. You will find the download link below the video. After importing the mesh, the next step is to set all 4 views in the rendered mode for a better visualization. Just follow the instructions in the blue arrow. After enabling the rendered view, the grid, the coordinate axis on the grid and the small symbol for the world coordinate system at the left bottom corner of our views disappears, and we have to do the following to set them up again. Click on the right mouse button on Perspective, choose Display Options, unfold Rendered, choose Grid and click Show Grid Axis and Show World Axis icon and confirm OK. Now double click on Perspective to enter the view. Then turn the soft wheel of the mouse to scroll out to see the grid. Next step is to move our mesh onto the grid. For that we use a widget called Gumball. It's a small tool for manipulating the geometry and position of an object in Rhino. Now click and hold the left mouse button on the black arrow and then move the cursor down to move the mesh towards the grid. Now click and hold the left mouse button on the red arrow and then move the cursor of the mesh onto the grid. Now click the left mouse button to de-visualize the gumball. Then click with the left mouse button on Zoom Extend to zoom in. Click onto the mesh to visualize the gumball. Now click and hold the left mouse button on the red semicircle to rotate the mesh around the x-axis. And release the left mouse button when the position of the mesh is appropriate. Now click onto the left mouse button to de-visualize the gumball. Then turn the soft wheel to scroll out. Click on the mesh to visualize the gumball. Then grab the green arrow to move the mesh along the epsilon axis. Then choose the red arrow to move the mesh along the x-axis. Then left mouse button click to devisualize the gumball. And then we double click the left mouse button on Perspective to leave this view. And then double click with the left mouse button on top to enter this view. And once again click the left mouse button on Zoom Extend to get the mesh into the middle of the screen. Then turn the soft wheel to scroll out and click on the mesh to visualize the gumball. Now we want to rotate the mesh around the z-axis. First we click on the semicircle. Now you can see a full circle and 4 small arrows. This is the positive direction of rotation. Now choose plus or minus for the direction of the rotation, followed by a number, and press return. Now click and hold the left mouse button on the red arrow to move the mesh towards the epsilon axis. Now click and hold the left mouse button on the green arrow to move the mesh upwards. As you can see, our rough alignment of the mesh between the x and epsilon axis looks fine, and we will go to the next step. Once again, click on the mouse button to de-visualize the gumball, and then double click on top to leave this view. Then we double click on front to enter this view. Use Zoom Extend to place the mesh in the middle of the screen. And then move on to turn the soft wheel to scroll out and click on the mesh to visualize the gumball. Once again we use the gumball to rotate the mesh. Follow the instructions in the blue arrow. And then we use the green arrow to move the mesh a little bit upwards. When it's fine, release the mouse button. As you can see, the orientation looks good, and we are going to leave this view now to enter, last but not least, the right side view. Use Zoom Extend to zoom the mesh into the middle of the screen. Now click the left mouse button to devisualize the gumball. When the gumball is activated, you only see a yellow plane. When you devisualize it, then you get a better sight on the geometry of the object, so that helps a lot. But now we want to move on, and for that visualize the gumball again and click with the left mouse button on the mesh. And once again we use the gumball to rotate and to alter the position of the mesh to get a rough alignment in the world coordinate system. The procedure is like before. Just follow the instructions in the blue arrows. So the final position looks fine. We deactivate the gumball and leave the right side view. Now we have finished. The rough alignment of the mesh to this world coordinate system is successfully completed. And yeah, thank you for watching.